Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F Podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today, I was prepared to eat crow and admit I was wrong about Brandon Biggs and say, okay, he was a false prophet, Mike Winger was right, and I'm an idiot. But last night, maybe out of delusion to save my pride, maybe it was more fortuitous. But last night, as I was doing the research to try to see if Brandon Biggs actually had a rebuttal to any of Mike Winger's points later on in the video, as I was watching that, he has just come out with a prophecy about the recent attacks that have just happened. So he's got new prophecies to be evaluated, the ones in New Orleans and the ones in Las Vegas. So he's supposedly, he's claiming that he prophesied those in October. Now, before we get into that, though, I think it is only fair that we go back through Mike Winger's video and we'll at least spend about 30 minutes to an hour going over what he had to say. And then me and Cody can go back and forth, and Trevor, help us, And
I'll ad-lib.
Yeah, you'll ad-lib and, all that good stuff. And then I thought we could go through Brandon Biggs' stuff, like his newest prophecies or whatnot. And then after that, kind of in the night with some of the latest updates on the attacks, like what we know, what we don't know. Because there's a lot of confusion going on right now. There's stuff related to the New Jersey drones and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on right now. The news is actually quite wild right now. So
it's so wild, the news don't even know what the news.
Yeah, it's just a weird time. Like, I just cannot stand. Anyway, so we're just gonna get on to Mike Winger's thing. Unless anybody has anything to say at first before we begin.
About Mike Winger's last video?
Yeah, or just Brandon Biggs, or just general thoughts before we kick it off.
Let's wing it.
I just wanted to say at one point in that video, Brandon Biggs was like taking videos down that Mike Winger was calling out during that live stream.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah, he made It's weird though. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that, because I have some of the video, links that Mike had across the top of his screen. I actually pulled 2 of those up, so interesting. But anyway, we'll move on and we'll just start this, I guess. So, and here we go.
You see the Hawaiian fires?
Actually, no, here we don't go. I got to share the screen first because I'm an idiot. So,
You're not an idiot.
Why you gotta be so nice to me, Trevor? Although I do appreciate it.
It's the only way I know how to be.
Thank you, sir. Oh, come on. Zoom. Anyway. All right, here we go.
Prophecy. He says but this is something that comes only after the visuals that everybody was stunned by, where there was blood on Trump's face. All of a sudden, there's a new detail that wasn't there before. Is it possible Brandon saw it? It's possible he saw it, but if I go over the actual evidence in the rest of this video today of his false prophecies, of him reinterpreting his old prophecies, wait till you see the Hawaiian fires prophecy. He says he prophesied that. And
I will say the Hawaiian prophecy was his strongest case. Mike's case. That was the best point that he had. So I'll say that.
Can you remove the keyword search there?
The keyword search thing.
Wasn't he talking about?
Oh wait, no, that's his.
Yeah, that's his video. That ain't mine.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
Wasn't the Hawaii thing? He was talking about the wrong city.
Yeah, he was talking about. Mike's going to explain it here in a minute, but basically, he was talking about Hawaii in general. I don't think he mentioned the Maui fires specifically, and he was talking about jet engine attacks and all these other details that didn't actually happen.
He's talking about Honolulu.
Yeah,
he specifically talked about Honolulu.
I think you're right. Yeah. So I thought that was Mike Winger's strongest point. Like, I think it's pretty clear Brandon got that one wrong spectacularly and tried to take credit for it. So I thought that was pretty well established.
When you see it, you'll go, yeah, this guy reinvents stuff after the fact. That's what he does. And this is not just a quirky thing like, oh, he's just some weird, harmless guy on YouTube. He is a dangerous, dangerous man. We're going to get into this in detail. I have lots of evidence for you guys. This is the deep dive into Brandon Biggs and his prophecy about Donald Trump. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name is Mike Winger. I try to help people learn how to think biblically about everything. I make this video rebuking a false prophet as a Christian who believes in prophecy, believes in the word of God. And I'm not even a cessationist for those who know what that is. That's not me. But I will be attacked as though I am one, because I've done this before and I know how it goes. So he saw blood streaming down his face, not part of it. He showed us which ear. Yeah, that's, again, not clear in his initial prophecy. Trump's hearing is fine, though. Did you guys know this? Trump's hearing is fine. There's been some people going, well, maybe there is damage to the hearing. I did a whole rabbit trail research of what bullets do when they're flying past your head, because I shoot guns occasionally, right? And I enjoy that, like not at people, right? But yeah, occasionally. And bullets don't work that way, right? Bullets, when they're flying through the air, they don't create this massive like sound pressure or air pressure that like can bust an eardrum. That's not how they function. And bullets can't travel faster than the speed of sound. But the speed of sound, those sonic booms, they only occur when something is accelerating towards or beyond the speed of sound. If it's decelerating, you don't get the booms anymore. Bullets are decelerating from the moment they leave the barrel. So that's not how it works, right? Furthermore, Trump is fine. Listen to this clip from the guy who actually tended to Trump's ear, a doctor who looked and bandaged Trump's ear after the event.
I know you have spent a lot of time with President Trump, and you dressed his wound. How is his hearing?
His hearing's fine. I mean, he wasn't close to where the shot was fired, and it was far enough away from his head, being his ear, that, there's no concussive effects from the bullet or anything. It just passed right over the top of his ear and took a little piece off the top of his ear as it came across.
That's not how it works, guys. Your bullet flies by, it just goes. When I was a little kid, okay, I was like, I don't know, 11 or something. Me and my friend were walking down our street and someone shot bullets at us. We don't know why, what was going on. I don't know what was going on, right? I live in Southern California, so sometimes weird things happen. We thought it was a fake gun. He was waving out of the car and pulling the trigger, until we heard the brick wall behind us, and particles of brick flew off the wall. Cinder blocks flew off the wall behind us, and we realized that we had been shot at. And no, we didn't get hit or anything like that. It was several feet away, but there was no. If the bullet had just flown by and not.
For the sake of being transformative, does anybody have any thoughts so far?
Yeah, man. So I've shot silence guns before, and like all you hear, like I was shooting at a pond. It was like it was downhill, so there was nothing back there. It wasn't ricocheting off the water. I know everybody's gonna be concerned about that, but so like all you hear, dude, is the bullet slapping the water. At least in this case, like it's just a slap.
Yeah.
And like there's no concussion of a bullet flying through the air. It goes,
yeah. I'm trying to recall. Did he play the rebuttal yet? There it is. He's about to play the rebuttal, and I want to make a comment on this. Actually, I'll preference the rebuttal with this comment. So just so everybody knows where I'm at right now, I have no blasted idea. Like last time, I was kind of leaning towards him being a false prophet, or him being actually a prophet. I have no clue now, because it seems like he's getting some details right, other details wrong, and I have no idea. It seems like there's too many specific details to be scattershot, but I have no idea how he's getting the details he's getting. Now, that being said, I think Cody might be onto something. Maybe he's hearing from a demon or something. I think that might be it. Of course, I don't know why, like why would a demon give somebody false prophecies if God gets the credit for those prophecies? Like, maybe I'm not playing 4D chess enough, but I'm like, why would that happen? But anyway, what's your thoughts?
I don't think it's a demon that he's communicating with. I see things as like ideas travel, like comedians come up with the same joke at the same time sometimes. So like ideas travel through the air like thought streams, as like jet streams do.
Okay.
Like we have wind up there.
Yeah.
You got jet streams and thought streams and water streams, and
Yeah.
So I think whatever vibration you're vibrating at, whether that be low in the demonic realm or high in the spiritual realm, you're going to pick up on those streams of thought, and you're going to get glimpses of ideas.
Okay.
So I think that's what he's picking up on, but I don't think he's special at all. I think he's just a guy trying to make money.
Okay.
And honestly, if you sit there on YouTube and you just post video after video of just crap that comes to your mind, and then you can delete the ones that are wrong and, make a big deal out of the ones that you get a little bit right. It's just like a talking head that never shuts up. So you're going to hit it sometimes.
That's a possibility. I'm dubious to that it's scattershot. Like, that's the one thing I'm like, I don't know if that's what's going on. I think, honestly, I kind of consider your idea of like maybe something being in the air and everybody kind of catching intuitions, I guess, to be more plausible than scattershot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing. But I'm not a big believer in coincidence and chance. Like, I don't really subscribe to the ideas that you can just throw the dice enough to get, somewhere approximating a bullseye more often than not. But I do think there might be something. I mean, I don't know. And that's, I was kind of going to wait until we got further into the video to bring this up. But if you notice later on in the videos, the stuff that he says in the quote-unquote failed prophecies, I'm not sure all those prophecies are failed, but they're headlines. Like, I've been watching Alex Jones off and on throughout the last, couple of years, pretty religiously since COVID. And it's like he's hitting Alex Jones's headlines. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying he's doing this. I don't know. That's kind of why I'm picking this up again, because I don't have a clue what's going on. I'm kind of trying to figure it out. But if I were to be a cynic and say that it wasn't happening, what I would think that he's doing is he's watching Alex Jones or somebody like Alex Jones, a news anchor that's a little bit ahead of the curve because he kind of understands what the guys behind the scenes are doing. He reads their work and he can kind of anticipate what they're doing. He's reading those headlines and he's making predictions, not directly of the headlines themselves, but where he thinks things are going to go in light of those headlines. Does that make sense? So, for example, he predicts 350 million dead by the shots. Now, I could be getting my numbers wrong. Trevor, if you can check this, you would be a beautiful man for it. But if my memory is right, and it could be wrong, the insurance actuaries for the vaccine deaths, what's the YouTube safe word? I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, for those deaths, the insurance actuaries ranged, I think, from 17 million to around 100 million. When people started pushing up and challenging the UN over the jibby jab, let's say. Now, one theory I've had is that he saw Alex Jones talk about that and maybe projected that it was going to be like 350 before it was all said and done. And in that case, as long as he gets close, then he can say he was just rounding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what's going on. I kind of wonder if that's the case, because it's like a lot of this stuff he's talking about, it's like straight out of podcasts. So I'm wondering if he's watching stuff and making predictions. I don't know. I don't think that accounts for the ear thing, and I don't think that accounts for him getting specific cities. But I think that might be a possible scenario, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I think it's possible he's picking up on pattern. I mean, because throughout history, the psyops and whatever the tragedies that happen, they're all in like main cities like Boston, New York, Hawaii, Texas, Florida. Like they're big places that everybody pays attention to. So it's like you don't have to guess at that many places.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I'm genuinely flummoxed and I'm annoyed because I don't have an opinion, and I don't like not having an opinion. I don't like it.
Best way to be, man. Best way to be.
So, Trevor,
am
I full of crap, or did I get the numbers right?
Which numbers are you
The
looking
insurance actuaries for the supposed or projected jibby jab deaths.
227,728,000.
Okay, I'm assuming that's the high end.
Oh wait, no, that's. Hold on.
Is that the insurance actuary for the vaccines or for actual COVID?
That's for one age group. Hang on, let me.
Just one age group.
I read that
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
Okay, so
I
the
do want to say
total
also,
Sorry, Cody. What?
for individual.
no,
Sorry.
Trevor, go
All
ahead.
right, sorry, Trevor. Go ahead. Yeah.
Here it is. The total for individual life death claim counts by attained age death 2,507,801.
Okay, those aren't the numbers
Whoa,
I heard.
that's low.
Yeah, that's a lot lower than what I was hearing. I know the 17 million number is right. I'm not familiar with the 100 million. And it's the insurance actuaries, if that makes any difference.
Let me keep looking.
Yeah, maybe try going to InfoWars because that's where I heard it. So maybe they'll have an article talking about it or something like that.
I just wanted to say, like, just on a sheerly philosophical level, man, if you put any credibility in the Bible at all, it says fear not like over 70 times.
Yeah.
Or maybe more. I don't even remember. And so this guy's running around pushing fear every single time. And he says he just says he's not, but he is.
It's off and on. It's off and on. Sometimes it's hopeful. Sometimes it's
No, he
fearful.
says he's not, but he is.
Well, in his individual videos, he goes back and forth. Some days it's doom and gloom. Some days it's not doom and gloom. Yeah, he's kind of up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I don't know. I think he's full of shit because God's not like that. God's not like.
I don't know, man.
God's not gonna.
The kings did not like Elijah. You remember that? Like, somebody said to one of the kings, I can't remember which one it was, like, you need to go speak to Elijah about this some subject or another. And the guy's like, oh, that guy has nothing but bad news for me. So sometimes the prophets are like that, you know.
Well, he also had Jezebel whispered in his ear.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
And Elijah did kill like 50 guys with a giant pillar of fire. He did that like twice, and the third guy was like, please don't roast me. So I would say that's pretty fearful.
Oh, maybe that's a comedy joke.
Huh?
Maybe that's a comedy joke. You just roasted him.
No, yeah. No, that's the modern Gary's Full of Crap edition. So, no, let's see. Well, that was another thing I was wanting to discuss is kind of like the nature of prophecy in the Bible, though. Like, it is highly allegorical, which is what he's going to get at with his rebuttal. And there are instances where the prophecies change, like Isaiah and Hezekiah. And then I was going to look this up, but I didn't get to it. But there's a story where Jeremiah's, and I might, Trevor, this would be another thing for you to look up, maybe, if you get a chance. Jeremiah is talking to a particular king before the fall of Israel, and he says, you know, I'm going to let this wrath or whatever not happen if you let all the slaves go. And so the king lets the slaves go, and then the guy's like, wait, who's going to do my stuff? And then he recalls the slaves, and then Jeremiah re-implements the prophecy or says the prophecy is going to happen again. So there are instances where the prophecies are subject to change, and they are warnings. So there's that component to it as well. And I think that's part of my difficulty with this is I don't understand exactly, like, I understand how prophecy works in the Bible, but according to Brandon Biggs's, I don't know, I guess what would you call it, the charismatic movement or whatever it is, I don't understand how prophecy works in their worldview. And I think there's some confusion on that point. It's like, I haven't heard a lot of detail about how they actually do that and what they believe, like whether it's set in stone, whether it's a warning, whether it's representational, whether God's directly talking to them. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you did know that, you would know that he's lying.
Maybe. I mean, I can't defend the guy because I'm on the fence. I don't know. Maybe. So, I don't know. Trevor, am I full of crap? Can we just say I'm full of crap, or did you find anything?
Which one are you full of crap on?
The 100 million deaths or thereabouts by the insurance actuaries from the jibby jab.
Yeah, no.
Not finding it?
No.
Okay, I'm full of crap then. We're going to move on. What was the other thing?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. If I'm wrong,
Start
I'm
calling
wrong.
you
That's
Brandon.
okay. What was the other thing I was wanting you to look up? Oh, it was the story of Jeremiah. Like the story between Jeremiah and the king of, I think it's Judea, before Nebuchadnezzar finally takes over. It's going to be towards the end of Jeremiah. So.
Jeremiah 29.
Perhaps. You want to read it?
What's the question again? Sorry.
Oh, I'm just trying to make sure that the king basically let go of the slaves and then called them back, and that was what prompted the prophecy to go back and forth.
Let's see. The elders were carried away captives. Yeah. So, Jeconiah, the king and the queen, and eunuchs.
What'd you say, Jeremiah 29?
29. I think that's the one you're talking about. I could be wrong.
All right. Build your houses, plant gardens, take you wives, be a son, save your city. Now, this is the general prophecy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, this isn't the story I'm referring to.
Okay.
Okay. Can you guys talk for a minute and I'll try to find it? Talk amongst
What are we talking
yourselves.
about?
Oh, you and Cody bond.
Jeremiah was a frog, you know.
What do you want to bond about?
Jeremiah, he was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine, and he was also a scribe. You know, and you know what they say about scribes?
That they're scriptural?
Yeah.
What do they say about scribes?
His story, right? So it's like whoever wins wants their story written down. So it's like you never know what's true.
Right? It's like, if I was to right now write down every dream or thought, I would have my own book.
Yeah, and it would all be gibberish.
Yes.
I know mine would.
I don't know. There's a couple of good stories in there.
Okay, I found it. It's in the NIV. Apologize to all the textual critic guys that don't like the NIV. I'm fastly becoming one of you, but I mean, I guess I could try to switch it to King James. I don't know. Let's see here.
Was King James really a king?
Yes, he was. He was son of Mary of
No,
the
you passed
Scots,
it.
I think.
Go back up. Scroll back up.
Am I just passing over it over and over again because I'm an idiot?
Yeah. Go up to K.
Okay, what's your letter of that? Okay, there we
King
go.
James. There you go.
All right. The word came to Jeremiah from the Lord after King Zedekiah had made a covenant with all the people in Jerusalem to proclaim freedom for the slaves. Everyone was to free their Hebrew slaves, both male and female. No one was to hold a fellow Hebrew in bondage. So all the officials and people who entered into this covenant agreed that they would free their male and female slaves and no longer hold them in bondage. They agreed and set them free. But afterward they changed their minds and took back the slaves they had freed and enslaved them again. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I made a covenant with your ancestors when I brought them out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I said, every 7th year you must free any fellow Hebrews who have sold themselves to you, and they have served you 6 years. You must let them go free. Your ancestors, however, did not listen to me or pay attention to me. Recently, you repented and did what is right in my sight. Each of you proclaimed freedom to your own people. You even made a covenant before me in the house that bears my name. But now you have turned around and profaned my name. Each of you has taken back the male and female slaves you had set free to go where they wished. You have forced them to become your slaves again. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. You have not obeyed me. You have not proclaimed freedom to your own people. So now I proclaim freedom for you, declares now I proclaim freedom for you, declares the Lord. Freedom to fall by the sword, plague, and famine. I will make you abhorrent to all the kingdoms of the earth. Those who have violated my covenant and have not fulfilled the terms of the covenant they made before you, I will treat like the calf they cut in two, then walked between its pieces. The leaders of Judea and Jerusalem, the court officials, the priests, and all the people of the land who walked between the pieces of the calf, I will deliver into the hands of their enemies who want to kill them. Their dead bodies will become food for the birds and the wild animals. So, if I remember that correctly, basically, if they were going to basically escape the judgment of this oncoming army, let's see if I can get to the beginning of... Yeah, here is the beginning of the chapter. While Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army and all the kingdoms and people in the empire he ruled were fighting against Jerusalem and all its surrounding towns, this word came to Jeremiah from the Lord. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Go to Zedekiah, king of Judah, and tell him, this is what the Lord says. I am about to give this city into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he will burn it down. You will not escape his grasp, but surely be captured and given into his hands. You will see the king of Babylon with your own eyes, and he will speak with you face to face, and you will go to Babylon. Yet hear the Lord's promise to you, Zedekiah, king of Judah. This is what the Lord says concerning you. You will not die by the sword. You will die peacefully, as people made a funeral fire in honor of your predecessors, the kings who ruled before you. So they will make a fire in your honor and lament, alas, master, I myself make this promise, declares the Lord. Then Jeremiah the prophet told all this to King Zedekiah of Judah in Jerusalem, while the army of the king of Babylon was fighting against Jerusalem and the other cities that were still holding out, Lachish and Azekah. These were the only 45 cities left in Judea. Yeah, so, okay, maybe I'm misreading that. But it sounds like, basically, they were being punished, and the covenant was being, I guess, rescinded because they were holding slaves. This is what I'm kind of getting out of that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So my point in all that was that prophecy is subject to change and covenants are subject to change. So maybe, what might be happening, although I think I was misunderstanding this chapter a little bit, what might be happening is the prophecy is supposed to be kind of a warning, and then maybe if people pray, it doesn't happen or what have you, and that's part of the point of a prophecy. So maybe that's what's happening. I don't really know. But that was my guess.
So to me, the calf being cut in half is reminiscent of the two pillars and the Mason stuff.
Well, it's a reference to Melchizedek. It's Abraham's covenant to Melchizedek. Like right after he met Melchizedek.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of like they would walk through it, and the idea was, if we break our end of the bargain, may we be like these carcasses on the ground, type of thing. So it's kind of like a way to make a vow. Initiation. Yeah, it was a way to make a vow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe
I will say one thing.
Go ahead. Yes.
One thing I've always wondered about. So the last job I had, I worked in a factory. I have my own business now, but when I worked in a factory, right at the 7-year mark, I got fired. I always thought it was real weird.
That's interesting, yeah.
Because of that stuff. Yeah.
Huh.
It's like I couldn't mentally take it anymore, and I got myself fired. So it's weird.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I don't know. I just want to throw that in.
Trevor, you got a thought, sir?
Not calling myself a special boy.
No, I got you. It's like maybe you're being guided a little bit. Maybe it was time. So
yeah.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know. So
I don't know.
Trevor, you act like you're going to say something.
I had a thought and then I lost it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. That's my fault.
Yeah.
You need a moment?
No.
Okay.
Continue.
All right, continue we shall. Let's see what Mike
Sorry.
has to say. No, you're good. Just stop us if it comes back. So
hit the brick. We wouldn't have even known we've been shot at, right? This close, you would have heard it whiz by. Several feet away, you might not have even heard it. Certainly not going to get sound waves that cause concussive force to burst an eardrum. It's not even how it works. But we'll get into how Brandon defends this real soon here, because he started getting pushback after this event happened, and then he claimed to have the exactly perfect prophecy. And he's in there reading his comments, and he's like, man, a lot of people are saying I said the eardrum would burst, and it didn't burst. I guess I should come out and make a new video. So he does. On July 17th, he made a video called Everything the Lord Told Me About the Economic Collapse on America. That's the name of the video. But he begins it by admitting his error in regards to the Trump prophecy. Now listen to the new third version of the prophecy.
What about, people keep asking, what about the eardrum? You missed it on the eardrum. You missed it on the eardrum. And it didn't bust. Nothing busted about the eardrum. And I'm going to tell you all, this is what I saw. And so this is what the Lord showed me. Okay? I saw the bullet go by his ear right here. And whenever I saw it, I saw the radio waves. That's why I was trying to tell you, it's kind of like.
So now he's giving us a new version of the old prophecy. Before it was, this will happen. There'll be a near miss. Bullet goes by. He's going to bust his eardrum. He didn't call it a vision at the time. He just said, this is what will happen. That was the prophecy. Now he's going back to a vision. Like, hey, maybe my explanation was wrong, but my vision was real. And yeah, I didn't tell you about my vision. It's secret, but trust me, this is the vision. It was accurate. Here we go. The Matrix style vision.
The Matrix, whenever Neo or whatever was going backwards and you could see those bullets shooting like that. And it was like that's why I made that first video. And I was trying to show you all that. That's what I was seeing in the spirit. I saw the sound waves whenever I was praying and the Lord I was seeing over into what he wanted me to see. I saw the sound waves coming off of it. And whenever it passed by his ear, I saw blood flow down his face.
This is the first and only time where he specifically describes, or I should say, the only times he describes blood on the face is after the fact, nothing before. I will get into an old video, his first video of the Trump prophecy that nobody's showing and nobody's sharing that I found because I watched so many hours of this guy's content that I feel like I know what his favorite cereal is. So at any rate, here we go.
Just like it did, okay? I did not know that it pierced his ear in the vision. I did not see that. I saw it go by and I saw blood flow. So I'm telling you all, this is where.
So he saw the waves go by, and let's say it was like this. The bullet goes by, and he's seeing from this angle, and he sees waves, woo, 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 and then he sees blood on the face, and he thinks, oh, obviously, his eardrum exploded from the sound waves of the bullet. I don't think that's how eardrums pop. For the most part, you don't have an eardrum pop and then boom, there's blood on the face all of a sudden. But ears are very vascular, as we have all learned in the past several days, and they do bleed quite a lot.
People get in trouble in the prophetic. You add to and you take away from what you're seeing. So
here's a good lesson. Now, Brandon's going to teach you how to be a better prophesier because what he's doing is he's depersonalizing his error. He's turning into a lesson.
What? Did you say something?
I said, this is how you lie, everyone.
Well, I don't know if he's lying. That's
Brandon
what
Biggs is about to explain to you how to lie.
I'm open to the idea
Listen to what
that he's wrong.
Listen to what Brandon's about to say.
I know, but
He's
I've
gonna
also
tell you
watched
how
the
to
whole
lie.
video too. So maybe we'll play that here in a minute. Now, I'm open to that he's wrong and he's not a prophet. I'm not convinced by any stretch that he's lying. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Have you ever lied?
No, I'm perfect. I am a saint. I never do anything wrong.
All right.
Those
Well,
100 million figures
whenever you listen
were
to-
completely perfect. I was never wrong in any way.
Whenever you listen to Brandon just now, whenever you listen to him talk, you think about the times you lied and see if it lines up.
Okay. We'll see.
For everybody. A lot of people do this when they have error. They turn it into a lecture because it's difficult to face error. I get that. I'm the same way. We all are. So he turns it into a lecture for other people.
So here I was it's immaturity. I'm just being real with y'all. It's immaturity. I need to grow. I added 2. I said it was a busted eardrum because I saw blood flowing down his face. So I thought, surely there's no way any sound that's going to go, anything like that, that's going to cause that to pop. Okay.
It was just crying.
He got it exactly right. That's what he.
What? If you're going to make snarky comments, you got to speak up.
It was just crying.
You're saying smart aleck comments and I can't hear them, man.
Well, these headphones are terrible.
Oh, okay.
Does it work? Okay. I might jump off and try to jump back on my computer so my audio is better.
Sweet. All right. Let me get back to me and Trevor's scene before you do that so people don't see half my desktop again. Okay, so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead and turn it off and I'll switch over.
Yeah.
In 3, let's see if we can coordinate this and time it out. All right, whenever you're ready, man.
Wait. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to turn off so I can, switch over.
Oh, bet. Sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right. So, Trevor, what do you think? We're waiting on him.
What do I think about Brandon Biggs?
Yeah, you think he's lying or you think he's wrong? Or do you think he's real?
I think he is neither nor.
It's kind of where I'm at, man.
He's not lying. He's telling his truth.
His truth.
So
yeah.
his truth is possibly dreams that he's seeing, or he's, he's coming up with what he sees around him. Which, if you're some sort of mentalist, Cody's back on, by the way. If a really good mentalist who can take a look at things and see what's going on could predict half of what he's predicting.
I don't think he could predict
easily.
the ear. That's what hangs me up.
He got, honestly, personally, I think he got lucky with the ear thing.
Okay, you think he got lucky? I don't know.
And
I don't know. See, that's what I'm a little dubious. I'll quote Ben Kenobi. I don't believe in luck, but
well, yeah. But the thing is, personally, someone who's real is not going to immediately get excited that someone else got shot and say, I prophesied that. That to me tells me that this guy is not real.
I don't know. Maybe he's just human and reacted poorly.
Or that.
I think, I don't know if I buy it, but it just seems like it's a little too specific to get the ear detail. That's really what's got me hung up. If it weren't for that, I probably would have assumed he was fake already. And I was going to assume he was fake, even though I couldn't account for the ear thing until this other thing that he came up with the towns happened. And now I'm like, well, now I'm not sure again. The thing about being a mentalist, here's what I remember from that time. I remember everybody in the dog was saying Trump was going to get assassinated or there was going to be an assassination attempt. Everybody was saying that. To predict that isn't special. But the theories were lone gunman, car bomb, plane bomb, poison. And those were the 4 that were getting thrown around over and over again. So the fact that he got the lone gunman thing and then he got the ear thing, when there were so many competing hypotheses floating around about how they were going to do it. There's that story where Trump is buying lots of food from McDonald's and different things and picking meals at random so he doesn't get poisoned. I mean, there was a lot of stuff like that going on, rumors and stories like that going on at the time. So he had a variety of options in terms of theories to go with to choose from. So he could have gotten lucky, I suppose, but the ear just seems a little too specific for me. So But that doesn't mean there isn't a way to do it. I just don't think it's chance.
Well, we could go the conspiracy route and just say he was in on it.
Honestly, I would sooner believe that than chance.
I think that's too convenient.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it's easier for me to swallow than chance. It's like, why would the FBI go, hey, buddy, we're going to turn you into a prophet? But, you know.
Well, I mean,
CIA's done weirder things.
That's true.
And
That's true.
Honestly, this guy could be getting ready to set up to talk about the, Antichrist. And
Oh, he's big into the end time stuff.
yeah,
He's real big into that. So,
yeah.
Why is that, Gary?
because all these prophets, true and false alike, the guys that have gotten stuff right in the past and everybody who's wrong all the time, everybody does end time stuff. It's like a thing.
Why though?
Why? Probably because this is my cynical opinion. Those dates are so far out, it's impossible to falsify. And nobody's going to know until it happens.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's because it induces fear and people are quick to, they want to be scared because it creates a savior complex and negates authority or responsibility, rather.
I do think people enjoy being afraid. I agree with
Yes.
that.
And Brandon Biggs knows that.
That's why we watched Nefarious.
Well, a lot of people know that. I'm just saying that's not. I guess my thing is I don't like for example, Benny Hinn. And I guess I'll just skip ahead here. Like, it's really obvious Benny Hinn is full of crap because the guy routinely prophesies stuff, routinely gets it wrong, and then ignores it. I have been irritated at Benny Hinn since 2012. So I've been aware of this guy for a while. He's clearly full of it. And yeah, like I would say Mike Winger's video on Benny Hinn is dead on. What gets me about this guy is this guy, skipping ahead later on in the video, I don't know if you got this far on it, Cody, but this guy outs himself in one of these videos talking about how he made this big prophecy about an economic crash and how, all these people sold their homes and did all this crazy stuff.
Yeah. Talking about the Baker buckets. And all that.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you screwed up and you shouldn't be that mad at the preacher for pulling a knife out on you. Like, you deserve that. But at the same time, I'm like, Benny Hinn never would have volunteered that information. You know what I mean? This guy wasn't pressured to do that. Benny Hinn, when he finally admitted he was wrong, was being pressured like crazy. When he finally was like, yeah, false, like prophets make mistakes, oopsie. He finally did that after a lot of pressure. This guy outed himself right at the beginning and was telling all these stories, and from a rather emotional standpoint, without being pressured to do so. Now that tells me either there's something to his doctrine,
and it makes it more believable,
or he's sincere but wrong. Like, I have a hard time, like, why invite that on yourself? Maybe he is a really good Machiavellian and he's just getting ahead of somebody from that church, outing him. And maybe he's like really calculating and, just outing himself before somebody else gets the chance to do so. Like, he could be that smart. That would be impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I'm being judgmental, but I don't know if he is that smart, frankly. But it could be. That's a really risky play, but maybe this guy's really risky, because look, if there ain't a financial crash in the next 4 years, this guy's going to look like an idiot because all his prophecies are about before the Trump administration being over, America's going to cease to be as we know it. Like, if he's wrong, he ain't getting back from that. So, he's put some pretty definite timelines on his stuff. So, maybe he's just trying to do a quick cash grab, perhaps.
Well, honestly, dude, because so the people like Benny Hinn and the Baker buckets and all these guys, these TV evangelists, they have the advantage of being on TV and it plays one time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not many people that are going to record it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this Brandon Biggs guy is just an outdated routine at this point. That's why it doesn't work anymore, because people record stuff now. And their methods are outdated, I guess. And so this Brandon Biggs guy with the YouTube, like he's scrubbing videos and like he can block people that call him out.
Mike Winger said he was scrubbing videos, but I pulled up the link. One video was there.
No, I'm just saying that he has the opportunity to do that.
Okay, so he understands that he can scrub videos if he needs to.
Yes.
Okay.
So if he needs to do that, he can, and he can block people, and he can continually go because he has a lot of followers at these different points in time. He can continually cycle through those followers. The people that don't believe him anymore just disappear, and then he gets new people.
So maybe
because people like to believe fear, he's just cycling through followers.
Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. That's a good point.
Whereas Benny Hinn couldn't do that, or it was a lot easier because.
So this guy's basically
he could just say something and people would forget about it.
So this guy's basically like got a new business model, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe. No, I think that's very plausible. I don't think it explains the specificity. I know. No, I'm not just hanging on to that because I want to be right. Like that's genuinely annoying me. Like
no, it's your concern. Yeah.
I'm like that. How is he getting the details right if he's full of it? Like that's bugging me. And they're not all the details. Like it's some details. You know, it's a thorn stuck in my brain, and I don't like ignoring it. It makes me think it's something supernatural. I just don't know what. I don't know if it's from God.
Maybe we'll get there.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been at this for 45 minutes. We played 6 minutes of Mike's video, so I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. There's just so many things. Like the look on his face in this shot right here, if you've got your screen shared.
Yeah, it's up.
The look on his face. It's like he's trying to get you to feel sorry for him. Look at his face.
He's got the wide eye.
He's like, oh, just believe me. It's... I can't.
I don't know. I mean, I've met people that are flamboyant and expressive like that. I mean, people tell me I wear my emotions on my sleeve all the time. I don't know. Like, I guess that's the thing is I don't feel like I'm a human lie detector. I'm not intuitive enough. Maybe I'm a
I don't either. There's so many things that this guy does. It's just like, he's just manipulative. And I say that because I've done manipulative things before, not because I'm just judging him.
Okay.
I'm just like, I've done manipulative things and I can see this stuff.
So when you're manipulative, you try to be like empathetic, like somebody to feel sorry for? You play up the sympathy angle?
No, you look for sympathy. Like you want sympathy, not empathy.
Gotcha.
You don't want people to understand you. You want people to feel sorry for you.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, it could be. I don't know. This is me speaking emotionally. Like, this is not a logical argument. This is pure anecdote. Maybe I'm just retarded. But I feel like I know what it's like to not be believed quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually like my demeanor that makes people not believe me. Like, I sound like a used car salesman half the time. I can't help it, but that's just my demeanor. And so but I'm telling the truth, but people don't believe me, and that makes me angry, you know? And so maybe I'm projecting onto him because I feel what it's like to be not believed all the time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's my emotion preventing me from seeing what you're seeing, perhaps.
That's very big of you to say. I commend you for that.
Well, thank you. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. So anyway, you want to go on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Said before, exactly right. He even said burst his eardrum, just like I said, it burst his eardrum, and he was reinterpreting the phrase eardrum to mean earlobe. That's what he was doing. Now he just admits he got it wrong, and he says why he got it wrong. Well, then why did he lie before and say that he got it exactly right? What is going on? I'll tell you why. The mind of Brandon Biggs, you'll see over time here, is malleable and fluid, and it continually reinterprets events so that it ends up being self-serving, because I think the thing that matters the most to him, and I'm saying this kind of early in the video, you'll see as we go along, is his place as a man who hears from God. I think that's the most important thing to him in his world. And it doesn't matter what he has to sacrifice to keep it, including his own mental integrity. Sad, very sad, a cautionary tale. But the reason why you need to know, again, is because he's dangerous for those who follow him. You'll see, because his prophecies about what's next in life, in the next 12 months, are the kinds of prophecies that can ruin or mess up at least a lot of people's lives.
Something, so I'm using my intellect with something I'm seeing in the spirit. And whenever you're doing that and you're trying to decipher what you're seeing, you're adding to it. And so shame on me. I saw that. So I see this thing flying by his ear and I see the blood. And then I see him fall to his knees. That's what I saw. And then that's what the Lord showed me, that he would get radically saved on his knees.
Now, this is new information. Okay, I'm putting up a chart here. Initial prophecy that you guys know about from 3/19 of this year, March 19th. The bullet misses, air pressure from the bullet busts the eardrum, and around this time, he says, at this time, which is a time frame, he falls to his knees in worship, which is a metaphor for Trump getting radically saved. This changes in the most recent, just several days ago, version of the prophecy. So in the boast, he says, okay, the bullet actually hits. It doesn't miss. I'm taking credit for that. A bullet hits an earlobe. The eardrum is fine. I'm taking credit for that as a busted eardrum. I also saw blood flow on his face. Brand new prophecy. I even told you which year. Brand new prophecy. Then the new spin is, okay, here's what really happened, guys. I saw the bullet go near him. I saw sound waves like the Matrix. I saw blood on his face. That's new. Again, at least it's post-event. I couldn't see the ear. I couldn't see it. Right. So I just guessed, and I was giving you guys my guess. And I also saw him physically fall down. The two things that he is now latching onto the most are the blood on the face and Trump physically falling down, other than a failed assassination attempt. Blood on the face and Trump falling to the ground. Two things that were not present in the initial prophecy by any provable manner. Okay, they just weren't there. There's a lot more to this, though, and I'm not just being nitpicky. You guys may think so. But here, check this out. There is an older prophecy from December of last year. Okay, this is like 8 months before the event, December of last year. And this is his oldest prophecy about Trump and the assassination that I could find. And yes, it is shocking that he got something right about Trump. But when you find out how much and how often he prophesies, you won't be surprised he got something right. The problem is he didn't get enough right. Here is the oldest prophecy.
So going into, I saw Trump with major rallies, with seas of people coming to his rallies.
Okay, this is supposed to be prophecy, but of course, Trump has for years been well known for rallies with massive numbers of people. There's nothing prophetic about saying Trump will do the thing he always does.
I saw him speaking on a stage with a white shirt, a red tie, and a blue suit like he always wears.
Keep in mind those details.
And he was preaching, and what it looked like, mountains in the background. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was Arizona. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But there was mountains.
Are you starting to realize why this video is not surfacing? Why people aren't seeing this? Why Brandon didn't repost this like he did the other video? Red tie, mountains. Those are two specific details that are actually entirely wrong.
Mountains all on, like he was standing on a platform here. The seas of the people was all out here, of course. And there was mountains in the horizon. I could see them. And he was speaking there. And I won't tell you what I saw happen.
This is so funny because he really did. Okay, the Matrix thing's not new. That was December he was saying that. He actually plays, I didn't do this. He played a video of Neo dodging bullets in the Matrix. And he goes out, this is what happened. So he really meant the bullet flies past him, doesn't hit his ear, and sound waves are coming off of the bullet. That's really what he saw in his vision. The blood on the face, the physically fall down right at that moment, and other stuff are added later.
To try to happen against him. We just need to pray for his protection. That's all I will say. You will need to pray for his protection in massive rallies. Okay? And so that's what I'll say about this. Pray for protection for presidential candidate. I saw it outdoors. Okay? I saw, like I said, a big crowd. I saw mountains. I saw this stuff. So that's what I'm going to say about praying this.
Now, he always holds back lots of details with his prophecy things. He'll be like, that's all I'm comfortable saying today. That's all I'll say right now. And you'll find out later why that is, because he's been burned before by giving too many details, and then people can show that he's wrong, or in his opinion, be mean. So, major rally, true. It was an outdoor event. That's absolutely true. Both of those are true. He was wearing a white shirt, red tie, blue suit. No, that's not true. Trump had a white shirt on with a blue suit, as he pretty much always does, but no tie, and he was wearing a MAGA hat. He had no tie at this event. So the specific of the tie is wrong. Why does that matter? He's the one that gave the specific. It's part of his vision. It's part of him telling you what will come to pass.
That's a good point. I will concede that point.
Hat, tie, same thing.
Yeah. I missed that. I didn't see that part of Mike Winger's thing for some reason. But I'll give that to him. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, okay, we are getting near an hour and a half. It's about an hour and 24 minutes right now. So,
yeah,
I wanted to talk about the recent Brandon Biggs thing and then talk about the attacks. It's up to you guys. How long do you want to spend on this? Do you want to keep going with this Mike Winger thing, or do you want to go on to the Brandon Biggs stuff, or do you want me to skip ahead on the Mike Winger thing, or how do you guys want me to play it?
How much more of the Brandon Biggs, Mike Winger stuff do you have?
Well,
because I mean, we could just cut it off at an hour for that and then go to the next thing.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep going on this, it's up to you.
I really wanted to get to the Baker stuff because whether Brandon Biggs is real or not, the Baker stuff is hilarious.
Yeah, we're gonna have to skip ahead there because that's an hour and a half in.
Yeah,
it's quite a ways. So let me.
And I really got to check on the
Let's
girls.
see if there's anything else I wanted to. There were some things I wanted to get to. Okay, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna try. We're gonna do the Baker thing just for a smile, and then I think we'll call it good on this because I think I've made my point that I'm not entirely convinced he's a liar because of the new thing, but I think I'm more open to him being a liar than I was before. It's a good video. There are some points where I think Mike comes on a little strong, but it's a good video. Recommend watching it. Anybody have any final thoughts? Okay. All right.
Let's move.
So
forward.
before I skip to the Baker stuff, guys, the video is New and Dangerous False Prophet by Mike Winger. Go ahead and watch the thing in its entirety if you are so inclined. And then I think
it's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's thorough. Brandon Biggs' channel was let's see here. It's Last Days.
Last days.
So, okay. Let's try to find the Baker thing again. The repurposed songs I thought were too much. I think he jumped the shark then. Don't play an ad on me. Don't be like this, YouTube.
Gotta make that revenue.
Bringing that money. All right, let me just do this. Why are you doing this to me? Okay.
That's a funny clip. I prophesied this. Nope.
There's almost a month now before you can get your food. Doomsday clock for global market crash strikes 1 minute to midnight. You hear that?
Tomorrow, we could look back and say yesterday was the last day to order and get prepared.
I just want to say, thank the Almighty for the internet. The internet has been fantastic.
So this is the same stuff that Brandon was telling people too, like, you better get your food. You better get it quick. It's going to happen anytime now. The market's going to crash.
Comes with 22 buckets, plus a bonus of 6 additional buckets for a total of 28 buckets. I want to show you something. All this food is for a gift of $2,500. What if you happen to survive for 2 years?
This is a giant
Star Wars goop.
Like many pounds of rice and then broccoli cheese sauce, which... Oh, man.
3 years, you're going to need some more food.
You're going to need some more food.
This is 1 bucket.
I don't think he liked his own product. You see that? Yeah, good.
Oh, man. And Biggs is pushing this?
Yeah, he was at the time. He was pushing this. This was when he was telling the story about the prophecy he'd got wrong. And the point behind his story was, prayer changes things, and he didn't take that into account with this particular prophecy. Yeah. So he was praying. He was telling everybody there was going to be this giant financial crash, and in the whole church, like, you know, took him at his word and lost a bunch of money doing that. And he eventually wound up leaving the church, I think. And it was his point behind the story was it was a cautionary tale. Mike's point was you're a false prophet and you should stop prophesying. That should have been the lesson you got from that. So that was the gist of what's going on here.
Okay. Is this a baking
pancake?
Show?
What?
Is this a baking show with Jim Baker?
Oh, not yet. But wait for it. This is special. This deserves to be remembered.
Wow. Sorry. It's hilarious.
And I felt the presence of God like I'd never felt.
Oh, wait till you hear the musical songs that they made to sell these food buckets.
And he said, Jim, I want you to start with, do more food.
It's funny because we live close to Branson, so yeah, we know.
Yeah. Well, Branson is, it's where people go to make money.
Yeah.
And you constantly have like I was saying earlier, you have this constant influx of new people, which is, Jim Baker did all right with that in his location.
Yeah, it's like,
it's like he had the model before it was possible.
Yeah.
The business model, that is.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I don't think you're wrong. But, I mean, I liked Ray Stevens. I was a big fan of Ray Stevens in Branson. But
who's that?
Ray Stevens? Oh, he was great. The Streak.
The Day of the Squirrel.
Mississippi Squirrel Revival. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Ray Stevens is great. Anyway.
Well, it's great if you're an entertainer, but if you're ripping people off, I mean, go to hell.
You can go to hell or you can go to Branson. Make your choice.
Build a new type of food.
God told him to, guys. God told him to.
We're in the last days, and the years I spent in prison, God showed me.
He was in prison rightly so, for bad things he did as a guy pretending to serve Jesus.
The revelation, and I'm telling you, almost all of it is already fit. We're going to see the ends, the end of time, and that's where we are right now. Okay, come on, sing this just a little bit of.
All right, band.
Okay.
Some of you stand up. Come on. I'm still alive. I got my food.
One of the things we've done.
There's another one. There's another song they did too.
Around here, we stick them under coffee tables and end tables. You could have your whole living room with end tables and coffee tables made out of food buckets. Just
your neighbors won't say a word. Not a word.
This is the kind of panic they were inducing. Get this. Tell you doomsday's coming and then sell you a product that you probably are never going to need, probably way overpriced, and tie it into biblical prophecy and the idea of following God and being prepared. This is despicable stuff. Brandon did this to his church, and Jim Baker was doing it too. So Brandon probably was sounding even worse than he makes it sound in his video. I'd imagine he's softening things.
Power goes out, and there's no trucks running, and the EMP bomb or whatever they're talking about for these.
Brandon likes to talk about an EMP bomb as well, by the way.
Last day events. This 2-gallon bucket of packs of coffee.
Yes.
You could trade them for whatsoever you want.
That's it.
You could probably get a new car.
So it didn't matter if you went into debt buying these food buckets, because guess what? This food was going to be worth gold. Its weight in gold in days to come. So people would do that. And Brandon probably did that, and others did that. You'll see how bad it got in a minute when I show you the next clip from Brandon.
Food that we send out, those packets of food are going to be more valuable than gold.
Got powdered food for a stormy day.
It's the I Got Sunshine song, and they've redone the lyrics to sell doomsday food to people, these Jim Baker food buckets.
This guy looks like he's eating nothing but Twinkies.
I don't think he needs storable food. I think he's going to be fine.
No, he's got plenty stored. Hey, check this out. I want to read what this guy did.
Okay, go for it.
This is on Wikipedia. Between 1974 and 1987, Baker hosted the television program The PTL Club and its cable television platform, the PTL Satellite Network, with his then-wife, Tammy Faye. He also developed Heritage USA, a now-defunct Christian theme park in Fort Mill, South Carolina. In the late 1980s, Baker resigned from the PTL ministry over a cover-up of hush money to church secretary Jessica Hahn for alleged rape. Subsequent revelations of accounting fraud brought about felony charges, conviction, imprisonment, and divorce. Baker later remarried and returned to televangelism, founding Morningside Church in Blue Eye, Missouri, and reestablishing the PTL ministry. He currently hosts the Jim Baker Show, which focuses on end times and the second coming of Christ while promoting emergency survival products. The several books. Wow. Anyways, you can go ahead if you want.
No, that was this song was my
Jim and Lori, help me be prepared today for end time.
That was the Jim that Mike Winger found that I wanted to share.
Oh my goodness. That is so funny.
Oh yeah.
Be prepared.
By the way, I got
I'm
some
gonna put that on
storable
my
food I need to
playlist.
sell. Everybody. I thought it was going to be the end of the world after COVID, but anyway. No.
Now I'm just hungry.
Now you're just hungry. How? That stuff looked disgusting.
Want some
Hey,
broccoli cheese soup?
It's close to end times. I'll eat whatever.
You want a sparse serving of rice with a bunch of garlic cheese powder? Just add water.
What makes you think I don't already eat that?
If you eat that, you're going to die before the crisis is over. So.
Oh my
Or
goodness.
before it even starts.
Crazy.
Okay, I guess we've chased this rabbit as far as we can. So, does anybody want to close it out?
Thank you for closing. Or watching.
Take two. Try
Make
that
sure to
again.
like-
Try that again.
Oh, thank you for closing?
No.
Oh, thank you for watching.
There you go.
Like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want. Don't subscribe, unsubscribe.
leave
We're
while
gonna
there's still
use-
time.
We're going to use some Brandon Biggs tactics here. Unsubscribe from our channel.
Follow us on our social media if you can find it. It's usually linked.
Yeah, it's usually linked in the description.
We'll see you on the next attempt at trying not to F things up.
All right. Adios, everybody.
Indubitably.
Okay.
Later.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.